Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Ray. This is your Ashkin. How to teach auditory learners. Interesting strategies. So that's the essence of today's video. So in my previous video, I did talk about what are different learning styles. And three major types of learning styles, that is auditory, visual and kinesthetic. So out of this, regarding visual learners and how to teach them and what are the various interesting strategies that could be used in teaching them was shared in my previous video, and this video is all about our auditory learners. So here I'm going to focus more on auditory learners. What are the different ways in which I can teach these auditory learners is going to be the essence of this video. So if you haven't identified what type of learner your child is, I will also share you the video to identify the type of learner your child is. So you can also check out that video and find out which is the best suitable learning style for your child, or what is the preferred learning style of your child, and use these strategies. So when I talk about auditory learners, these learners are usually who talks more often, so that can be to the self or to others as well, and they usually prefer talking to others, and whatever is being shared to them in a spoken language, that is what they enjoy a lot. They would have so much of difficulty in concentrating in some kind of noisy environment, and they are the ones who would lectures and discussions, because they just hear it and say it. They would enjoy all these things more often, and they would remember the names of persons very clearly. Even though they don't remember the faces, they would be the best person to remember the different names of people, and they can express the emotions with more of tone and the volume of the voice, and they are usually inclined towards the music. So let's see what are the strategies that could be used to teach these type of auditory learners. The first one is discussions. As I said, discussions or anything that has been in the spoken format is something that enhances their reading and writing or any kind of academic materials in a better way, assimilating those content in a better way. So encouraging these students to participate in discussions, so any kind of discussion related to academics or any kind of skill oriented discussions would be the best strategies to be used with these auditory learners. And the second one is audio books or recordings. So whenever the reading is required, you can always suggest them some kind of audio books, if at all it is appropriate and if at all it is available. Also, you can also give a recording of the teaching sessions or training sessions, whatever is available and accessible. So that could also be helpful for these kind of people. And also self-recording. So whenever they hear themselves explaining certain concepts, it would help them to grasp the concepts and expand on them. And usually nowadays all of us have these Android phones and smartphones in our hands, so it is easy for us to record any kind of learning material. That can be, it's not necessary it should be the teacher's class, it can be their own explanation of that particular material. That would help them to revisit those topics and understand the content better. And music, yes, as I said, they are more inclined towards music, so suggesting them to listen to music when they go over some study material. So here when I say music, it should be very much of instrumental in nature without very much of words involved in it. So it's a music with mild volume can also be played when they go through certain materials. Okay, and songs are excellent ways to engage these kids, and it's a very good start for teaching certain new concepts. Okay, so for younger students, I would say the alphabet song, which is an A is for apple, apple. So that is something that's going to be a key for them to read and remember the order of alphabet. But for older children, what you could do is, there are different science songs which is available based on different concepts. So for example, the environment around us, or the body within, what are the different systems in our body. So you have all these science songs that is based on it. And in addition, you can also learn about the sound waves through the music as well as other concepts. And then explaining, so getting the students to pair up each other. So you can have peer buddy in the class, and or in at home, in among a small group, they can have a peer so that they can explain the concepts to each other. And storytelling, yes, as I said, storytelling is one thing which has numerous benefits in it. So if you can explain a story with relevant sounds in the computer, and that could be taught about a concept, then that's the best way I would say, because every concept that the child is learning can be best explained in a story, and if it has been added down with some kind of effects and additional audio sounds, then that is going to be another best strategy for teaching auditory learners. And rereading and repetition, so this is very vital, because suggesting them to reread their notes back to back, and whenever they get home, whenever get their time, and using some kind of mnemonic techniques or rhyming would be the best method to teach them. And as you know, as I've been discussed, like the key component of auditory learning style is that repeating their idea in their own words, listening to their own concept, their own ideas in their own words will greatly enhance their learning experience. Also, reading the content aloud, so that you can read this content aloud and the child can be made to repeat after you. So this is also one other strategies that could be helpful for the kids. As also in advanced reading skills, you can actually sound out certain words and break down into syllables, and they can be repeating that. So that is also one other important strategy for auditory learners. And then question answer session. These type of sessions are very much important and would keep the auditory learners engaged, as they completely help them in observing important informations about specific topics in that particular area. And then recitation. So reciting information out loud, okay, whatever the information that they have learned, it would be helpful if they can by heart those materials and then recite those information, and they can listen to what they have recited. And then debates, yes. So auditory learners are usually called as social butterflies, because they need to listen, speak and interact to learn best. And debates are usually one of the funniest and easiest way to transform and elevate conversations on a specific topic. And then verbal games. Involving them in verbal games is really effective, because it's not a secret to say that learning through play is always effective, right? So for oral learners or for auditory learners, games like Just a Minute, Fact or Fictions, so these are the best way to test or increase knowledge on certain topics. So any kind of game like this or that would benefit auditory learners for sure. And show and tell, yes. So picking a day or a week and just getting to select some areas, or selecting some picture, or selecting some content, and then the child can talk about it or tell a story about that particular time. So you can also make it more challenging by giving more adjectives or more concepts or more vocabulary words when they are learning. So show and tell is another strategies to teach auditory learners. And then group project or peer buddy. So teaming up with other students and verbally reinforcing them. So verbally praising them for the information and retaining facts and details, all that is also one other method. So even they can take place in they can take part or listen to broadcast, all that is also another strategy. So these are the different strategies that could be used for teaching auditory learners. I hope you love this video, and thank you for watching this channel.